whatever.
Called meeting to order at 6:59.
15.
Pretty close.
She's gonna need a refund.
Okay. So is that Paige or?
In the back,
Oh, somebody else, okay,
Paige will need one as well.
okay.
This lady will need one.
So I talked to Paige, and Paige was talking to her neighbor, Carter's.
Yeah,
And it looked like they were both in the same boat where they had rented earlier in the year. And they hadn't got refunds from that yet. And they had paid for a second rental, which has now passed and they would need a refund for. So if we tore up the $100 check for both of them, then they would be even. Does
okay.
that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And I told Paige that's what I was gonna do for hers, and I will try to touch base with the Carter, so I know that they know that's what we're doing with theirs, but I assume she would have
I
told
will
them.
keep their $50 check. She's already rented, so we'll just tear this up for the deposit.
Is that
Damage deposit,
somebody-
Ashley Brown.
Brown? Okay.
Yep.
That's a deposit. And there's Pages, so we'll just tear that up and that makes her even. But I don't have Carter's second check. I know you had told me at the last meeting that they needed a refund. That would have been from their first one.
Oh, she hasn't had one in a while. Back in the summer.
They rented in June and September. Double check your stuff, your records. I will double check mine as well.
Yeah, because that's all I had right there.
Okay.
The only one that owes me is Kenny Hollinger that had it yesterday.
All right, so I'll start with last month's stuff here. This would have been November 2025, called to order at 6:59. And attendance was myself, all three board members, Paul McGann and Todd Craighead from the police department, Rayanne Nepley, Misty Clark, Mary Atkins, Chris Prohl, Mr. and Mrs. Tompkins were here from the public. Minutes from October 2025 meeting were read and approved by the board. Open issues were the town website, and clerk treasurer on the PD bank account. Updates in new business, payroll was distributed. I had proposed and drawn up the contract for 2026 for the fire department, which was going to be $2,500 plus Olive Lloyd. I'm sorry, $2,000 plus Olive Lloyd money, which was a reduction from $2,500 and half of the electric bill. I did email that to Ben, and I thought I had explained all of that, and he came back and said, well, remember, we're paying, we took over the electric bill, and I said, yeah, I figured that in, and I kind of estimated what I figured you had paid this year to figure out what the payout will be for this year, and tried to balance that for next year, so you came out to getting about the same. and kind of tried to explain it to him again. And I said, you know, if you have any questions or you're not happy with that, please come to the meeting and I'm sure we can come up with something that's agreeable.
Yeah.
I had not heard back from him. So I guess I'll wait. You guys signed off on it, but unless or until we hear something different from him, then, you know, I'll just keep you apprised of it unless he reaches out to you directly. I put in those reusable furnace filters. We talked about the tornado siren, but we didn't really make any decisions on that. Just kind of watching to see how that goes with maintenance this year. Insurance had been updated with the clerk bond, actually costs being reduced significantly. And we talked about recommendation for a playground inspection. I have not followed up and done anything on that.
It's not really a good time either.
Well, I mean, I guess I could do it anytime, but just not thinking about it right now.
That was the time you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
We had not received any bids on snow removal at the time. We talked about mowing for the next year and trying to continue with the volunteer as he is available. I talked about funds being kind of low in the general fund, but that was just kind of FYI. Should be fine. Hay from the backfield was donated to the nonprofit horse rescue, which the board agreed to, changed from the previous donor or who was going to receive that. Michael addressed noise complaints, and it was discussed with PD being able to enforce it. A noise ordinance would need to be added. And we talked about different time restrictions and how that would be enforced. More research and discussion would be required before decisions or action could be taken. Talked about the gas stove and the kitchen still needing to be replaced. Mary had reported a theft of holiday decorations from her porch. PD stats were reported. Bank statement provided. Talked about PD pancake breakfast. That'll be held 12/13 from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. here at the community building. Toys will be given out, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be here. There was a stop sign that was struck and removed, and we were looking into replacing that. PD is still trying to get a matching grant for bulletproof vests and planning a fundraiser. We have Officer Hines was promoted to K9 handler. K9 is not a Biden K9. He should be fully trained and on duty by mid-December. PD is looking into having license plate readers installed after the first of the year. There was another Dodge Ram acquired by the police department. I think that's pretty much it for last month. Just so you know, I was contacted by State Board of Accounts, and they're going to be starting their audit cycle. It'll be 2021 to 2024. So I'll be working with them to get that completed. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't entered in Gateway during that period of time, so I uploaded a lot of stuff, but hopefully that doesn't drag it out and in the end cost us more money, because they do charge us for those audits, but I don't know how much that'll be or anything yet. Our budget was approved, and it was approved for the amounts that we requested. They didn't dock us. Can you believe that?
Whoa.
That's
Should have asked for more.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How much did you ask for? Should ask for more.
Wouldn't have worked even if we had. Usually we ask for more and they dock it down.
Yeah.
The T-Mobile bill is there. Paul said that he would just let me know how much the town portions of that would be whenever, so I guess he'll get back to me with that. We had kicked around the idea when Pickens was here about staggering elections in the future. And from what I recall, everybody thought that that was a good idea. And when I looked into it, they said that basically we would just write up an ordinance saying as such, and it would begin with the next cycle. So we would draw, if you still want to do that, we would draw it up this year. It would need to be done by the end of 2026. So that wait, am I saying that right?
End of
26 or
2025.
25.
Yeah, I totally, when do we do elections again? 27 or
Because we just
28?
did it last year, at the beginning of this year.
This year started the term.
So it would have been 2024, so 20, would be 26?
28.
We have 2 years, every 2
Yeah.
years,
I
right?
thought we was on, they're
Be
using
27.
presidential cycle.
We are, and so I'm thinking wrong. I'm still ahead of the game. We don't have to do that this year. But we'll have to do it before the next election cycle. So we would need to do it in 2027, so it takes effect in 2028.
Yeah, unless you're
Right.
running a stagger, and then we need to probably. do
Well,
I don't think we can do the
Yeah.
stagger until after the next
Yeah.
election.
since it wasn't done prior to everybody starting this term, you have to finish out your term and put it in place prior to the next term starting.
Because then
that.
that's
Was
gonna
confused by what they were
Yeah.
telling me.
make it where all 3 people can be removed at the same time.
Yeah, so that's why we want to stagger,
Yeah.
so that doesn't theoretically happen.
Right.
But,
I don't see anybody jumping at the gun to come and take that position.
yeah,
Bless them if they do.
I don't know why I thought that had to be done next year. anyways.
Well, I was thinking it was every 2 years.
Yeah, but it's just when we put it into effect.
Okay.
Because if you do it every 2 years, then you're going to say you're going to run a 6-year term.
Yeah,
No.
that's not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, it
No,
could,
you still
But
run,
there's no,
but if you're only electing for one seat on the board, and you do it every 2 years, that means whoever's elected or whatever is on a 6-year term.
Mm-mm. So what we'll do is, and this is the way I understand it, in 2027, we'll draw up something that say, okay, when we have elections in 2028, these 2 seats are only going to be a 2-year term. And then the other 2 seats, because we're going to do the clerk treasurer and 1 board member and then 2 board members.
Okay, that makes sense.
that way we
And
all,
then-
okay.
And then, so whichever 2 you guys decide, they'll only have a 2-year term and the other 2 will have a 4-year term. So then in 2 more years, no, is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were going, I guess I didn't realize you got elected. I thought you was a volunteer appointed position.
She
or whatever.
was, but
And we're all technically supposed to be
Okay.
elected, but we all end up having
Yeah.
volunteer.
But yeah,
Except
I
me.
guess,
Oh, well.
and that's what I was thinking, was that it was just 3 and you'd have to
you
stack
just got
it. Yeah.
grandfathered in or whatever,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
grandmothered
tier
in.
1.
They have other words for it.
So now I'm confused myself. See, and I didn't even need to bring it up.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's okay, I'll
Let's
forget
table
it in
We'll
20
table it
minutes.
for now.
Yeah, I guess we don't need to worry.
Bring it
about
back in 3 years.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing I had. There's statements, that's signatures.
There's the minute.
There was one, for the check to give to the PD.
Yeah, we signed it.
Sign, pass that
Yeah.
check down. I think that's all I've got for you that I can think of right now.
That was another question. Do you want him to just go ahead and just like sign underneath since Paul's not here to sign it
Yeah,
himself?
that's fine.
Okay, that way, he can just take the check, he don't have to take the paper. Sure. Well, initial to sign it or something, just so it shows that we did give it to the representative that is here.
Yeah.
You could do like you just forward in a check.
Yeah.
I keep the.
Well, I mean, as
paper.
far as the check, I don't mean the check, I just mean the
The
statement
statement,
itself.
Yeah. Cause you're on candid camera.
I'd just soon rather have you sign it than them say you should have had him do it. But you're gonna take.
We'll go ahead and move on to the snow plowing. So snow plowing was donated to us.
Oh.
I spoke with I just happened to be at his office, and he said that he would rather remain anonymous, so we will keep it at that, but he's got 4 plow trucks, and his guys are close to town all the time, so it should be plowed first thing in the morning.
Cool.
Okay, my question, and I understand, thank you, whoever you are. Do we need to look into salt? Because I know last night, the intersections were pretty
Yeah.
hairy yesterday.
Their
They
salt
were this
spreader
morning,
is
too.
currently broke.
Well, and
They
I
were
didn't
working
know
on
if they,
getting it
I
fixed.
didn't know if they were going to salt or if they just want,
Yeah.
sometimes just plow, they don't
Right.
salt.
If we want them to salt, we would have to purchase the salt for them.
Yeah,
And I'm fine with that.
yeah, which, I mean, that would be
I'd
perfectly
rather
fine.
do that.
But if I needed to, try to find even maybe for a quad, and we can give, Mr. Tutro to run around and salt it, every so often, whatever. I don't have a quad, or I'd do it.
Mhm.
Give me an
And,
excuse to go flying around
I
town.
had suggested to him to plow at 3 inches, and he said, no, we'll do it at 2. So if there's 2 inches on the ground, they'll come out and take care of it.
Should be there in the morning.
It was there before I left Greenfield.
So does he want us to buy the salt to give, or is he just gonna invoice us for the salt?
I'm sure there'll just be hey, I use this much salt, and we'll just
Okay.
Michael, you might tell them, I don't think they put sealant on that, our walkway that we just did,
So don't
so
salt.
don't salt that.
well, it would just be the streets.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they were gonna do the sidewalks or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, that would just be streets. I do have some other new business. The last couple of weeks, the furnace that runs the PD and is the backup for this side of the building has been on the fritz. I met with Tim Looper, or one of his employees today, and it was determined that I just drew a blank on the part. Not exchange coil.
There is an exchange thing.
yeah.
Heat exchanger.
Heat exchanger, there we go, thank you. Is cracked and sucking in air, causing it to overheat. They checked on the warranty on the furnace, and since it is 21 years old, it is no longer in warranty. And it's gonna be in the neighborhood of $4,200 to get that replaced. So I don't know if we have that right now in the budget, if we need to wait till after the first of the year and continue with space heaters on that side. Or if we could get a hold of State Board of Accounts for like an emergency fund type deal. I know when the air conditioner went out, when I was first on the board 7, 8, 9 years ago, whatever it was, we just spent the money and had it replaced because we had to have it replaced, and then State Board of Accounts was not super happy about that.
Yeah.
So something that, and I mean, the first of the year's close, so maybe something we can,
It's not letting carbon monoxide in or anything like that,
it
right?
would if it runs. We've got it completely shut down right now.
Okay. Because that's what happened when we first moved into the house, the greenhouse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the guys on the PD,
Probably Steve Thompson.
yes, has background in it. Have we talked to him?
Yes, I spoke with him earlier.
Yeah, because I spoke to Steve on Thanksgiving, and he was telling me, and that's what he was saying, is,
Did you reach out to the other contact I sent you?
Not yet. I'm
You might
going
just
to,
ask him.
yeah, I'm gonna do that in the morning. I didn't have time this evening, so
He's pretty straight. So,
that way we have at least 2 estimates.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, yeah, because if not, I'll get ahold of Chris, the guy that owns the property behind us,
Mhm.
or behind me. Because that's what he does, is heating and air. And he will get a scratch and dent model. It has the same warranties with their, you know.
Yeah,
But who cares? It's in there, nobody's really gonna see it.
right.
Yeah.
And this one, the one that Tim Looper quoted me was a 20-year parts warranty and then 5 years for him.
Yeah.
Or 20-year manufacturer warranty.
Mhm.
Which, you know, I don't have a problem with him doing it either way.
Yeah,
It
he's
just,
been good, and
yeah,
I think there's a bill floating out there for like 225 or something, where they were out here last week, and he said to hold off on paying that till we decide what we're gonna do. Because if he replaces the furnace, he'll wipe that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He can take his parts back off of it and get the money back out of it. So,
yeah.
If we
Or shelf
had to
them
do it
and just
before the
wait.
first of the year, I could make it happen.
We just have to cancel Christmas.
Or even, you know, if he let us pay half now and half after the first of the year, that would help out too.
I can speak with him about it.
The longer you can hold off, the better as far as number wise, but we can figure it out if we have to.
Now, was that 42, was that including labor, or was that?
Yes.
just- Okay.
That was done and him out the door. That's all that I have. You have any new business?
Which I don't know if he'll talk about it, about, the fire truck
Mhm.
with the Christmas, breakfast with Santa. But, Ben, texted me back and said that that's the same morning as, shop with the firefighter. So he wasn't sure who was gonna be doing that, but he would try and, reach out and see if he could find somebody, but they have a meeting this Saturday, so we'll know something hopefully Saturday.
If they can't do it, then we maybe could get Kenner too. We could ask for it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That or we could
Holly's on,
possibly putting in a police car.
I'm sure him and Mrs. Santa can fit wherever, so.
Could put you in the back of the K-9 with Roscoe.
Yeah.
But he said the truck, Charles said the truck that we used last year, a lot of people don't like to drive that one because it's a monster and it, you know, it rides rough. And so a lot of people don't like driving it. So I said, well, what about a rescue truck or
Michael could
something?
drive it.
And he said that he
Drive
would
anything.
ask.
While you brought that up, I'm not gonna be able to make it. We're down help at work at the front counter, and that's my Saturday to work. And this time of year, everybody's got plans, and I can't get it switched around to make it work. Misty said she'll be over here, to help with whatever she can help with, but
I'll be around.
Yeah, I won't be.
I apologize now because we've tried, but we just can't make it work.
Yeah, you're gonna be on a cruise.
I know. I gotta keep up with these guys.
I ain't went anywhere. I did buy a surfboard yesterday.
I
On the
can't go
TV,
to
you
the
kinda-
PD one in Andy. because
I
of
know,
my
it's a real
schedule.
surfboard.
I've got church that night.
Is
What are
that
you
an
gonna do
auction?
with
Misty, to hang it out there by her swimming
Shame,
pool.
because
Oh.
food's always good.
Right.
Got a lot of old cars over there.
We
Right?
were at the auction and I bought it.
Do you have any new business, Jason?
No, if you could just let me know, with the salt thing, just find out.
Yeah,
Because I mean, that is one of my biggest concerns. I have been, to let you guys know, I've been trying to reach out to our state rep to find out about town beautification grants. Because they're still supposed to be out there. And I can't get a straight answer out of anybody on where this money, how to get it. Because there's supposed to be funds that you can either do the grant style, write the big letter and stuff, but there's also, like for smaller towns, because I'm on the sidewalk bill.
Mhm,
Wish we had some sidewalks.
mhm.
Got some nice ones out there on 3.
Yeah, right in the middle of the road, yeah.
From what I understand about that, just like the paving grant and stuff, and this is just like I always say, what I understand, I'm not saying it's 100% right.
Mhm.
I don't think there's any requirement that says that you can't file for those grants yourself. But it's a lot of hoops and paperwork and filing and this and that. And you've got to teach yourself how to do all of that. They hold classes at Purdue on
Yeah.
how to do it. And it's just whether you've got the time to commit to it. And then that's why you get these law firms like that one that Kaiser that we pay to do that, because they're familiar with that stuff. It probably is just a few little clicks away for them because they know what they're doing. And so you pay them a couple of thousands to do it for you. When you're talking about big amounts of money, it's worth paying them to do.
Yeah.
And that's everything that I've checked into, stuff like that. That's the way it seems to me. Smaller ones, I can usually figure out what they want. They'll give you requirements like the Henry County Foundation. It's not too hard. They actually have made it even simpler. But most of the time they just give you some points. If it's like 5,000 or less or so, they just give you points. We want to know this, and this, and type something up and send it off to them. But when it gets into all that big money, again, like the paving, you got to have these studies done and these estimates and this and that and another. And, you're starting off somebody like me, don't know anything about that kind of work to begin with. I'm learning everything from scratch and then learn how to file it all. It's very time consuming.
And that's why I'm reaching out to these guys, because they have whole departments that do that. And we pay their salary. And we pay those people's salary.
More power to you, Jason.
they-
You
some
need
of
to do
them-
it, go ahead.
Some of them forget that they still work for us.
You're right.
And, so I'm trying to do that because it's not, if I can get what I want to do, it won't be a little thing. I mean, because there'll be trees removed, there'll be, it's going to be done right, because I don't want to. I go through these small towns that's got the nice sidewalks, got the smaller trees like we talked about that one time. Even some of them that's got the lights, where it looks like the old
Yeah.
gas lights and stuff. And I'm going, we should be able to get this. This town has nothing it has
Yeah.
nothing in it.
And
Why
we have
can't we get
flags.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the ones like I've looked at too, and like the paving one, there is a matching percentage. So that's something you got to look at too, is if we're able to come up with enough funds, or, how we would come up with it, do some fundraising, whatever. It's just very time consuming.
I don't know. I'll ask my daughter, because she lives in Lafayette and she graduated from Purdue. And she's on the chamber or something. So I will ask her if she knows anybody or if she knows how to write grants or proposals.
Well, depending on how the next couple of weeks go, we'll see what happens, but I'm interviewing for a job opportunity through my same company, but I would be working for Purdue,
Oh,
managing their benefits. I'm gonna get some ends there too, if it pans out.
Yeah.
We don't even know for sure, but we'll.
mhm. Do you still work from home?
I would do split. I do have I would do some days on campus and some days from home. But like I said, It's all just a big if right now.
That's a-
It is, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things that will have to be considered before I would say yes.
My daughter might rent you a room.
I probably got somebody who'd rent my room here.
But no, that was the last thing I was,
Okay.
I just didn't want somebody to get a phone call, get blindsided if they were checking to see if I was actually even affiliated with the town or whatever.
Good, Officer Craighead.
Yep, total hours for November is 749 hours. We had 84 traffic stops and 33 runs. Like I said, Saturday, December 13th will be the breakfast with Santa. Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be here. It'll run from 8 a.m. to noon. So that's all I have. Chief couldn't make it just because he was under the weather and asked me to step in for him today, so.
And the weather was over here.
Yeah, with it, yeah.
I don't blame you.
I was saying,
Literally
if he didn't leave at noon, he wasn't gonna get over here anyway.
Okay, does anybody have anything else?
I did notice, I told them guys about the lights, the outside light on the, I guess it'd be the right side or
The
the left,
left, south side.
south side is completely out. The one on the north is intermittent still, so.
I noticed that the other night when we were here.
And I did change the clock, to come on a little bit sooner, so since it was getting lighter,
Oh, yeah.
darker earlier, so.
Do we think they should we just start with bulbs or?
Yeah, we
Bulbs
probably,
is the cheapest first start of it, and then if it's not, sometimes it's a capacitor or the inner workings.
Yeah.
What kind of?
I'm not sure.
Open it up, I'd have to say.
Open it up and take a look, but we probably need to really look at switching them out to LEDs at some point.
I'm not sure if they were high pressure sodium or mercury vapor in those, so.
Kind of got to buy a furnace first.
It's true, that's probably more important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If somebody gives me a bulb or a part, like I said, I can borrow it from Gordon Electric again or wherever.
You're gonna kill me. I could have bought the faucet yesterday at the auction.
What
It's okay.
option do you go to?
This was in Shirley yesterday. They had like 8 brand new ones. They went for $5. Total.
Would you text me next time you go to an auction?
Next Saturday, I'll be in Greenfield.
All right. I guess we'll call the meeting adjourned at 7:31.
Okay.
At the big blue, used to be big blue, then it was
Um,
John Deere's.
That's one of our quickest ones.
Right.
Okay, who gets the financials this month?
As you're going in,
Yeah.
you know where the place to sell the metal?